On this week's Waypoint, things get a little gnarly with a new champion, and could the latest patch bring assassins back? What's up guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap for August 6th, 2014. I'm your host, Lindsay Geektron. It is August already. Where did time go? Seriously. Onwards! The last champion to shake up the league was Braum all the way back in May, and he quickly established himself as a top-tier support. Well, the latest champion is set to jump onto the Rift, and if I had to guess, I think he's going to quickly become a fan favorite. Meet Gnar. He's a cute little prehistoric yordle who's spent a millennia or two frozen on ice. Recently, he let it go, so to speak, and joined the League of Legends. Gnar's a ranged top laner, but don't worry, we won't have another Teemo on our hands, thank goodness. Piss him off and he'll turn into MEGA GNAR, who is anything but cute. Going through his abilities sounds like he's a really fun champion. While in combat, Gnar fills up his rage bar. When it fills up, his next ability will transform him into MEGA GNAR, giving him bonus armor, magic resist, health, and attack damage at the expense of move speed, attack speed, and range. So the idea is Mini Gnar is fast and slippery, while MEGA GNAR is a big slow juggernaut. An interesting factor to Gnar's transformability is that it can't be controlled. Twist! Even if you don't use an ability to trigger the change, Gnar will bulk up anyway after a few seconds. Once in MEGA GNAR form, his rage will slowly decrease before he turns back into Mini Gnar. I think the best Gnar players will have to anticipate when they're going to transform and position themselves accordingly. Each of Gnar's normal abilities does something different depending on which form he's in. Mini Gnar's Q is Boomerang Throw, a long-range skill shot dealing damage to the first enemy struck and applying a slow. The boomerang then comes back, dealing reduced damage to all enemies in its path. If Gnar catches the boomerang, its cooldown is reduced significantly. Mini Gnar's W is Hyper, a passive ability that gives every third attack or ability against a target % max health as magic damage, which is one of the most scary ways to deal damage in the game. There's no way to defend against that type of damage other than having low max health and being super squishy, which doesn't really work. On top of that, triggering Hyper or transforming back from MEGA GNAR will give him a move speed boost. MEGA GNAR's W is Wallop. He slams the ground, dealing damage and stunning all enemies in front of him. Mini Gnar's E is Hop, letting Gnar jump in a targeted direction. Landing on a unit allows him to hop again in the same direction. Hop also provides an attack speed boost, and if it lands on an enemy, damages and slows them. MEGA GNAR, on the other hand, has no time for hops, preferring to body slam his foes with his Crunch ability, dealing damage and slowing all enemies he lands on. Finally, Gnar's ultimate is only usable when he's hulked out and, very confusingly, is called Gnar. When Gnar uses Gnar, he knocks all enemies around him in a targeted direction, slowing and damaging them. If Gnar Gnars them into a wall, turret, or structure, they get stunned and take extra damage. Good luck with that one in teamfights, casters. Overall, Gnar looks like a really interesting champion. There's a lot of utility in his kit with escapes and slows and stuns. Whether or not he's a top tier will come down to his numbers, but the combination of a ranged slippery poker and a beastly tank in one champion could prove to be a very powerful thing indeed. Oh, and he sounds like this.
Gnar Shabanova Maga Nakotag Ksha Igishu.
Rito, what have you done? Here's MEGA GNAR. And if you didn't think Gnar could get any cuter, look at Dino Gnar. I would totally bet imaginary money that Riot would be selling Dino Gnar plushies at World Championships this year. I would totally buy one, guys. We went over the 4.13 champion changes on the last episode, but there are a few summoner spells and item changes that are worth talking about now. Exhaust reduces 10% less damage now, but it does shred 10 of the target's armor and MR. This is a really important change for assassins because losing 50% of their damage when they got hit with exhaust was just devastating. It's a big reason that assassins fell off after Season 3, and this change means good things for champions like Zed, Ahri, and Fizz. The new stat Shred will make it easier to kill the assassins when they jump on you, but I think that's a worthwhile trade. Heal now heals for significantly less, which again helps assassins in a big way. Heal nerfs have been needed ever since the summoner spell randomly got given a move speed bonus. We're still not entirely sure why that happened, but with the reduced healing, I think the ability is in a decent place. Really glad these 2 summoner spell changes came in before Worlds. It's not all good news for Assassins, as Deathfire Grasp got a 30-second cooldown increase that really puts the brakes on a lot of AP mid laners. Riot's reasoning is that they just don't consider the one-shot, no opportunity to react playstyle healthy for the game. Riot might be able to tone back Assassins and give them more interesting tools to work, but these champions are designed and built to quickly kill a single target. The shield recharge on Banshee's Veil has gone up from 25 seconds to 40 seconds. Sieging or defending against opponents with Veils was just annoying because it recharged in time for every minion wave. It's still a strong item, but 40 seconds gives you a lot more time to react when you pop it with a good skill shot. Another positive change for Assassins. The passive gold generation on Frostfang and Frost Queen's Claim has been cut in half to 2 gold per 10 seconds. It really did generate a lot of gold when combined with the gold you get from poking champions. Plus, support or not, rewarding players who sit back and do kinda nothing doesn't really promote a fun playstyle. Move speed has been added to the Nomad's Medallion and Talisman of the Ascension at the cost of 10% cooldown reduction and a tiny bit of mana regen. The Talisman also got a bit more health regen. Yay! I love this change. It's fairly easy to hit the cooldown reduction cap as a support, and the move speed really encourages roaming around the map and making plays. I think that maybe particularly on Alistar, this item would be really scary, especially if he's roaming around with the jungler for a mid lane gank. It's the 21st century, and for a lot of us that means staring at harsh, bright screens for a good part of our day. When I finally crawl into bed, the last thing I want to do is strain my eyes trying to read a book. That's why I use Audible.com. With over 100,000 audiobooks to choose from, great prices, and incredible discounts for members, there's nowhere better to get your audiobook fix. From sci-fi and fantasy to history to comedy to all sorts of nonfiction, there's something for everyone on Audible.com. Even if you've never been a big reader, audiobooks could open up a whole new world for you. Familiar franchises like Star Wars and Star Trek, or World of Warcraft and Warhammer are a great place to start. Not too confident? No worries. If you choose a book that isn't for you, simply return it and try again. If you're interested, head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker and start your free 30-day trial today. As a thank you for signing up, you'll receive a free audiobook that's yours to keep. It's also an amazing way to continue to support us and help us to continue to make shows like this, so thank you so much. One more time, that URL again is audible.com/gamebreaker. And that does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. For more video game news and content, head on over to gamebreaker.tv. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below to help us reach more people. And if you want more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolNation TV. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitter at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.